Hey, IDS 302. Welcome to Module 5, Video 2. It is Thursday, July 29th, noon, and let's get this going. Uh, it looks like most all the surveys are in. 1, 2, 3, 4, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 in on the board. I expect to see maybe 1, 2, 3 more. Hopefully they'll get whoever didn't turn them in yet, we'll get those in and we can get going on this. What I'd like you to do is starting on Saturday, if you haven't already done this, just go through them all and do each other's surveys, okay? That'll give you about a dozen responses. Then you should have mine, but you need to aggressively pursue others. Okay, send them the link in your email. I understand it's random adults, but we need to get some data. What I will do, most likely, is tomorrow I will email my other class, my organizational leadership class, and I will ask them, I'll have to compile all your links in one email, one announcement, and I will ask them to participate. Okay, there's about 22 students there of all ages. It's not, it's not, it's an organizational leadership, broad range of ages, which is very helpful. I don't know if they'll help us out. I've never done this before, but I'm going to ask them to help because we have such a small class of only about 12 or so that will actually do the survey. Okay, so let's focus on getting data now. Okay, I want you to really, it's kind of on the side. It's going to matter. All right. As I've said and stressed, without data, you have no research. You have a compilation report. So also make sure you've checked the settings on your survey in Google Docs. Make sure you've unchecked everything so that anyone who gets the link can see it and do your survey. That's important, because otherwise it's only set up by default to only allow those with ASU emails to participate. And of course, we'd like others to get involved. So make sure that's good, okay? And get them sent out. Make sure you take all your peers' surveys for them, and that. Here's probably what I'm looking at, in case you want me to quantify it. If you have under 20 responses, you're going to get dinged, maybe severely, because you needed to do better. It's like turning in 20% of your paper. Doesn't mean I want 100 responses, but 20 to 30, I'll ding you less. 30 plus, that's very doable, and I'd like that. The more the better, okay? It's a funny thing because, well, it's not funny, but I mean, the less you have, the less you can compare, contrast, or whatever. Because what you're going to be doing essentially is taking these questions, some of which are demographic questions. Those are the ones with age and gender, income, ethnicity, if you have those things, even the amount of student debt, if that's your gig. And then to compare, contrast, correlate those with the questions that you have on your topic. Okay, so if you're doing guns or something like that, you want to look at the overall, yes, but you want to look at is there a breakout at around age 40 where guns are more acceptable than they are for the younger group? That's what you have to do when it comes to research. That's what tells us things. When you're doing climate change, does it appear that the younger people are really more into it and sustainability than older people are? When it comes to self-driving cars, are older people more afraid to be in them and do it and they still want to drive? And the younger people are like, dude, just set me up. There's all kinds of different correlations between gender. Are men or women? Are men going to be more pro-gun than women? Is it men age group? There's all these ways to contrast, correlate, compare. And what do we do with that data then as it comes to step 5 is to analyze it that way, to analyze the questions. And you'll see that if you're looking at the samples that we get into the final paper. And And then you interpret the data. You interpret it. What's it telling us? What's it telling us? Do we need to? Does Black Lives Matter have a PR problem with a particular age group or gender, or did you ask if they lived in a rural setting or an urban setting? Um, you know, because remember, we're analyzing these topics, these issues. I'm trying to see, is there a way to look at it interdisciplinarily, right? Don't lose sight of that, because you are looking at this through three disciplines. Hopefully you have questions that resonate with your three disciplines, okay? Um, Let me know by Monday if you have a real low rate of return. You shouldn't, because there's not much I can do about that, to be honest with you, except give you an old rah-rah, get out there. Because, like I said, I'll send it to the other class. We'll see if you can get some responses there. You have your class, and then, try to get other people, okay? It's important. Don't just bail on this, because it's going to matter when I grade your final paper, okay? ACE drug number one then is kind of obvious. Must collect data, right? Okay, good. The discussion that's coming up here and due pretty quick. Let's see, when's that baby due? The 31st, Saturday. Okay. Becoming an interdisciplinarian, I touched on this a little bit. Very important that you read the instructions of this. Very important if you want to maximize getting the 40 points. Okay, because you want to utilize, I have this bolded, that means mention, cite. You don't need to do a reference list, you don't have to, discussion board, but make sure you mention and talk about Newell and Benson readings that are in the learning materials, as well as any other readings thus far, okay? Because this isn't like stream of consciousness, what I think about becoming interdisciplinarian. Part two is kind of like that, but part one is not. So I want you to use the material, right? The resources. So you're going to want to identify, in part one, identify some key characteristics of becoming an interdisciplinarian, including interdisciplinary learning, writing, and research. Use your own words. Yes, you could quote them, but nothing long. You don't just want to copy it. Make sure you tell me it's part one, and then separate that by part two. Make sure you use paragraph breaks. If you do the entire post without paragraph breaks, I'm going to ding you. You know that by now, right? Those of you who just gave me one long paragraph part one, long paragraph part two, that doesn't fly. Think your writing isn't organized thoughts, okay? It's not just one big brrr. So it's part of literacy, is to know when to kind of give the reader and yourself a mental break, and then they go into the next point, right? So part two, then, what do you see in yourself that resonates with these characteristics? So here's where you get a chance to talk about yourself. But remember that interdisciplinary studies is an academic scholarly field, can be applied to many areas of real life. But it's not about, well, when I was a kid, I always liked to do multiple things at once. No, that's not interdisciplinary. Okay, remember, it's an academic field. Okay, it's not jack of all trades, master of none. So you need to apply that. But remember, to apply disciplines, then occupations, then things, wow me with that writing, that you understand that. Interdisciplinary is not multiple disciplines. It's integrating multiple disciplines. And it's then utilizing that. And how does that look? What does that look like in real life or occupational life? Okay, personal life, occupational life. So that's what I want you to talk about. Now, the initial post is a minimum of 300 words. I think it should take more than that to do a good job, but hey, that's just me. So right away. Now, you can respond to two of your peers for up to an additional 5 points each. That's 40 points, 30 and 10. But you need to do a minimum 75 words each, and make sure it's an intelligent response, not just rah, rah, rah. Engage. Okay. Easter egg number 2, discussion board instructions need to be followed. Pretty simple, huh? All right, now we get into step 4. That's due Sunday. from many of you know that. I don't know who's going to get it to me by then, but step 4, look closely at it. Look closely at the sample. So what you're doing here, step 4 is critically analyze common disciplinary insights and patterns of connection. Okay, now that includes conflict too. He doesn't have that in here, but it does include conflict. So, okay, it'll be done through assimilating various research you utilize in your step 3, as in a review of literature. I think that meant as in, not is in. As in. Where'd it go? There it is. So what you did in step 3 when you got all those sources, you should have learned something. Did you read those sources? Did you look and see if it actually resonated with your topic, or was it close enough? You just went with it. Because the steps in the sections in step 4, the subsections, analysis of disciplinary literature. Okay, I want you to look at what did you find and how does it resonate with you. There's a restatement of purpose, ethics perspective, what you learn there. I'm not ethics. I mean, I'm looking at this sample. They have ethics, nutrition, and sustainability. But so you're going to want to look at this. So you restate your purpose. Do better at the purpose that you did in step 2 if you want, but just restate it better, clearer. Then you have your disciplinary perspectives, each one of 3. I should put that in there, right? Disciplinary perspectives, I'll put in parentheses, there's 3. Okay, then you're going to get into a subsection called patterns, connections, and common ground. I'm going to try to bold these subsections, okay? I guess wherever it's bold, you need to have some stuff there. So discipline 1 and discipline 2. Where are there patterns and connections and common ground? So 1 and 2, then 2 and 3, and then 1 and 3. You can put them anywhere you want, but I'm just saying catch all of them. So there's 3 different analyses here, okay? Remember what I told you, if you're only doing 2 disciplines, you'd have 1 and 2, 1, 2, that's it. If you're doing 4, you'd have 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4. You'd have a lot more. I don't want you to do 4. So the sweet spot's 3. Then you want to get into areas of conflict. Where do these disciplines differ? For example, let's say a human rights and business. The goals of those 2 seem quite different. The concepts, the intentions. So if you have something that's, is conflict, you gotta kind of consider it. All right. For the areas of conflict, you do the same thing. Discipline 1 versus 2, 2 versus 3, 1 versus 3. Then you've got a new understanding and potential resolutions. So a new understanding might be something to the effect that, there might be more to gun Second Amendment than just political science or sociology. There might be a consideration of economics or public health or something else that you want to get revealed. Same with Black Lives Matter. Might not be so simple justice studies as it is, there's law enforcement aspect, there's sociology aspect, okay? There's economic aspects, okay, and potential solutions and how to consider that, okay? Then you've got your primary data collection and analysis. Here I just want you to go step by step. I think you'll see it in the sample. Let's go step by step. Let me just save this and take a look. But you're just going to give a general overview again of what those steps were. And where is it? Here it is. Preview. Where is this? Okay. Sliding down. Yeah, you can see how she did a great job on this primary data collection analysis through Tanner's steps. I think it's really good, okay? Again, use your own words, but follow this format. Okay, and then you get it to work cited. Notice she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. She's got 6 things cited. Honestly, if it was a dozen, that would be more acceptable in my opinion. But whatever. Try to, because you're analyzing disciplinary literature. Therefore, it should appear in some way in all of these, right? Smith said regarding blah blah blah. That blah blah. Okay, you get what I'm coming from. So academic rigor, as always, will be rewarded. This one really has to show academic rigor. There's up to 100 points available. And formatting items include but are not limited to, just reminders. Word docs, Times New Roman 12-point font throughout. Okay, if you want to give me something different on the subheaders, make sure it's still Times New Roman. I don't care if it's 16-point font, 14-point font, bolded, whatever. Make sure the entire paper is double line spaced entirely. Okay, make sure the source is listed in the APA only. Make sure everything's same color font black. If you want to highlight the whole thing and click on your black to make sure, good idea. Okay, I know you guys should be experts by now on this. We're back to writing a paper with typical, paragraph indents. Make sure the presentation is good, right? Like I said, that's very helpful and appropriate. All right, so 16.5 minutes. Let's talk about Easter egg number 3, and that is step 4 requires academic rigor. Okay, so to tie things up here now, remember that this course ends on August 8th, right? August 10th, Tuesday, August 10th, it ends. 12 days. And that's it. Nothing after that. I need to get grades in, and fall's kicking off pretty quick. So keep your questions coming. Everyone, for the most part, is doing really well in this class. I have sort by grades high to low, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 out of 15 are passing. A's, B's, and C's it's mostly weighted to A's. And there's 5 C's, but a couple of them look like they're prepared to go into the B range. So I think it's successful. I think it's a hard class. I think you're earning it. It's academic rigor. Got to have a couple of these in your academic career, right? Okay, that's it for me. I'll put out there's only 2 videos to go. Module 6 coming start Monday. I'll probably get the video out on Sunday, but who knows? Maybe I'll get it out on Monday. Anyways, talk to you soon. Forks up. Peace.